friend. We won't tell them about you and those goats in Greece.
No.
Okay?
Next.
Good morning, sun and fun. You know, there's no prettier picture on the planet than looking at all of your smiling faces. Because I know from those faces, good things are going to happen in about a month. We're all excited to see that. So, to get this, I apologize for not being here last meeting. I would prefer to have been sharing this moment with you, but I ignored my wife until they took me to the emergency room. So I got to spend 4 days on my back in a hospital with oxygen and IVs, all because I was a stubborn mule and refused to go to the doctor. Don't let it happen to you. So I'm really happy to be here with you guys today. So how do we roll the flick here, Miss Laura? Are we ready for the flick? Go to the next one. All right. We know how excited we are. Now, this is what we're going to hope is going to get everybody excited around the planet. That's pretty exciting.
As Sun and Fun returns to the skies of Lakeland, April 10 through 15, see the precision of the U.S. Air Force Thunderbird, Summit, Tora, and over 60 high-powered aerial performances. Night air shows with an amazing walking flight. Walk among historic warbirds and today's modern military aircraft. This is your chance to truly engage the past, present, and future of aviation. Bring the whole family and experience the fun at the Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo. Visit flysnf.org.
Okay, wow. I know fully well that you caught that, didn't you? All right, it's going to get fixed. It's just a minor glitch. It was new one time. It's just not new anymore. All right? Yeah, that's right. The MiG flying through there is not today's modern jet. We'll fix that. All right, so I'd like to have y'all join us here as we recognize and pledge allegiance to the country that gives us a chance to do what we do. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing here if you don't mind, and we're going to have the National Anthem, which I think is the greatest song on earth. We're going to have it sung by a leprechaun today.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, I'd like to ask our good friend, Mr. Gary Dunn. Gary, come on up, sir. And we're going to recognize the great Lord that gives us the strength to do some of the toughest things we do on our career.
Good morning, all. I'd like for you all to stand with me as we pay honor and recognition to those that have taken their final flight to the West. Remember these that have been laying the groundwork, the legends, the characters of each one of these as we call them out. We'll have a moment of silence after that, and then we'll close in prayer. Floyd Aiken, Warren Arnold, Janet Bacon, Michael Boswell, Victor Boyce, Evelyn Rokow, Richard Browning, Bill Burke, Kenneth Cotello, Bill Cocker, Daniel Raymond, Pat DeSano, James Eaton, Norma Jeerings, Martin Jones, James Langley, Donald LaPointe, Merle Lilly, Mike Logan, Millie Mueller, Joe Alcott, Vernon Peckham, Jim Pessinger, Dick Phillips, Bob Ohemis, Joyce Severns, Jackie Sidwell, Ernie Sleeth, Howard Smith, Milton Voigt. May we pause and remember these. Father, we thank you this morning that these that we've just named have laid groundwork for us to remember. They've given time and years together for this great event. We thank you for their dedication. And as they've flown into the western skies, we are thankful to remember them this morning. And Lord, as the sun rises, may your love rise in our hearts. A love that dispels tiredness, a love that overcomes difficulty, a love that builds relationship, a love that inspires diligence, that delivers excellence, and that develops trust. And now finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. Lord, we thank you today that these are gathered together. We ask you safety as people begin to travel here to this great event. Overshadow all these volunteers and workers here today. We ask you in Christ's name for peace and safety. Amen. Amen. May be seated.
Thanks, Gary. A lot of great folks there. And oh, by the way, if you didn't know, Gary is not only our spiritual leader here, but he's also the potty pro.
I handle both areas of comfort, from the top to the bottom.
Okay, with that, I would like to introduce to you my dear friend, teammate, riding buddy, sometimes drinking buddy, chairman of the board, Mr. Bob Knight.
Well, I have to make mine short and sweet, because as all of you know, this is the sixth fly-in that I've been the chairman of the board of Sunday Fun. But I will be stepping down at the end of this air show from being the chairman, but you won't get totally rid of me. I'm still on the board of directors. But, before I step down and don't have an opportunity to say this again, for myself and for the board of directors, you know, we really appreciate the volunteers. The whole organization is based on the volunteers out there. And when you look around, and this is just a small group of the volunteers, if we had to pay for that, we wouldn't be in business. So it's just fantastic that y'all are here. I'd especially like to thank the early birds and the yearly birds that dedicate such a large portion of their life to help us here year-round. Our part of the year. And none of that would happen if it wasn't for their leader, Robin, who does a fantastic job working with all of you. So with that said, and having looked at our program and seen what Greg Gibson has lined up for a fly-in, I think we're in for one of the best fly-ins we'll ever have. Maybe we'll have better ones, I hope so, but we've certainly got a great one coming up. Thanks a lot, and good luck.
Thank you very much, Bob. Well, got a team here. If I could ask all of the Sun and Fun staff to stand up. If you're standing up, put your hand up. If you're sitting down, stand up, please. All right? See that right there? Look at the back there. We got a bunch. Okay, what's important about that? Obviously, you need to know those faces. That's good. Know what they do because they're here to help you. There's 24 full-time paid employees. There's 6 that are part-time. I know Bonnie acts like she's full-time. She's really part-time. Right, Bonnie? Yeah, give me that tongue. Good job. Point is, that's a very small number to get done what we do. This is an incredible effort, and it only happens because of you. They're only there to get things all set up for you, get you ready to go, give you all the tools, and then turn you loose to make good decisions and make the actions happen that have to come together to make Sun and Fun a success. But I would tell you that this year we made a transition. We've gone from just a totally family atmosphere. We've grown past the family, and we've grown into a team. There's a big difference there. We haven't lost the family. We still love each other. We work hard to take care of each other. But families sometimes have internal fights. You got a black sheep on occasion. You have squabbles. You have family issues. We've grown past that now. We're a team. Teams come together to work hard with each other to win a game, to win whatever challenge is put out in front of you. And that's where we're at today. That's where we'd like y'all to act. We'd like to ask y'all to join us in this team atmosphere because we are working to coordinate, communicate, and collaborate. And when things don't go right, we don't blame anyone. We just pick up the pace and work harder to fix it and move on past it. That's what a team does. That's who we are today. So please enjoy the fact that we are your teammates as well as you're ours, and we will not blame anyone for failures or mistakes or errors, but rather pick up the ball and keep moving it towards the goal line. We'll worry about the other stuff later. That's what a team does. So please join me in that atmosphere. There's your team that's part of your extended team. Special guests, Gene Conrad. Did you show up today? Apparently not. The guy's in love. All right? If you didn't know, he's getting married September 1st. He's got a higher priority here. No, Gene's a great guy. If it wasn't for him, we couldn't do what we do. Had a long conversation with him yesterday about land purchases and expansion. All of it's very good. So we're all working towards expanding the footprint of Sun and Fun and the airport. Adam is. I'm getting him right now. Well, Chris Hallstrand, did you show up? Chris! Thank you, sir. Hey. Please note that Chris is the right-hand man for Gene, and he's our go-to guy for getting it done. If there's any issues that we're having trouble with that need an airport assistance, rather than bothering Gene, you go to Chris, and he's a very pragmatic guy. If it ain't going to happen, he'll tell you right now to your face, but he'll try really hard to make it happen. That's what he does. So between Tim Wells and Chris Hallstrand, they get it done. Dave Smith from the Lakeland Tower, did Dave make it over? No, I don't think he did. All right. Jennifer Anderson's going to be up here in a minute. Raise your hand, Jennifer, right back here. She's our new teammate with the FAA. All right. And Keith Smith. Keith, make it. Hey, Keith. Everybody know Keith is last year as the principal of Aerospace Academy. All right. One thing is here, he's another teammate and a special guest. Y'all all know that we have tents out here. Are you liking the tents? They look really nice, don't they? Yep. Yeah. Great tents, and they're going up fast. So hopefully you picked the place you wanted because it's too late now. All right, it's done. It only happens because of great leadership. We hired 3 years ago Lafayette Tin and Awning Company out of Lafayette, Indiana, and they sit down here, an incredible team. And I know Laura, did my mic die? Did my mic die? It did. All right. So we hired a couple of years ago Lafayette Tin and Awning Company, and what we found was we traded up. We found an incredible team, and the leadership of that is Rich. Rich, raise your hand back there. Yeah, Rich. We're very fortunate to have those guys in our family. So, Rich, you can go back to work. Another special guest. Y'all know what the Lakeland Aero Club is, right? All right, well, I want you to hear from them the fruits of your labor between Mike Jenkins and Leighton Bracey. Come on up, gentlemen. These are two of the club members.
How y'all doing this morning? Good. My name is Michael Jenkins. I'm a 19-year-old private pilot. Right after Sunflower, well, I've had my license for 2 years now, and I've gone to Oshkosh twice, got over 200 hours. I work for fixed wing aviation, aircraft maintenance, and work on Cirruses. I've been in the club for just about 5 years now, and if it wasn't for you guys and airport staff, my dreams wouldn't have came true, so thank you guys.
Hey guys, my name is Leighton Bracey. I've been in the club for about almost a year and a half. Anyways, I'm 18. I have my private pilot license. I'm about to do my instrument check ride, hopefully in 2 weeks or so. And I'm flying to Oshkosh this year. I have over 200 hours. And I have a little bit of glider hours as well, about 20. But anyways, just thank you for all that you guys do, because obviously us as Aero Club and Sun and Fun couldn't do it with you without you, so thank you.
They represent dozens of other young men and women who are reaching a dream they never would have had possible without what we do. We're now past 63 private pilots. We'll get 2 more before the fly-in. Our goal is to do 2 a month. 2 teenage private pilots every month get awarded a scholarship, and about 6 to 9 months later, they are really flying and on their way in a career that otherwise could never have happened. So you're very fortunate to see the success of what you've done to make this possible for them. Quick reminder, preserve and enhance the future flight through world-class events, plural. How many did we do this year? Over 70. 70 events. Holy mackerel. The staff wants to shoot. Yes, they do. Inspiring and educating people of all ages. You're going to see so many improvements on the property here. One of them is another parking lot. And why do we put a parking lot behind Crossfield? Because our adult A&P classes have expanded, and now we've got more students that we know what to do with. So everything continues to grow, all because of this philosophy. Okay, you know my philosophy on safety, and thank goodness y'all have all picked it up. Safety's for sissies. Professionals do it right the first time, every time. They never waver from the policy or procedure. They do it as pros. At the end of the day, you have a safe event, and everybody goes home the way they got here. Nobody's got a bump on their head. Nobody's walking around in a cast. And thank God, nobody's walking through an airplane propeller. All right? We do a lot of crazy stuff here that is extremely hazardous. But you handle it as pros. As long as you follow the processes and procedures, we'll have a successful fly-in, and we'll all be bragging about our safety record. We just met last week with our insurance company. You know we've driven it down from $225,000 to $145,000 for a year annual insurance policy. There's only, that's you. That's because we don't have accidents, incidents of any great degree. We're going to have a few minor ones, but we don't do anything stupid. You guys are using the red flag when you need it, and you're making things right every time. So that's very important. And I get comments constantly. What a friendly, fun fly-in to go to. Because everybody, that's you. You meet them with a gleeful face, a happy smile, can-do attitude. How may I help you? And it's working. And the attitude of the customer is, wow, you guys are really, this is really hospitable. You find a way to make them happy. And I will tell you that if you do show up here with a bad attitude, you've done very well to hide it. And I thank you for that. Okay? Southern hospitality at its best. I think, Carol, these are in the back of the room?
They should be, yep.
Anybody know what this is? This is the first ever in 44 years Sun and Fun's annual report. How are we doing? If you don't have one, grab one. We got one for every one of you back there. It's public knowledge. We're 501c3. There's no secrets. We're telling all the truth here of what we've accomplished, where we're at, and where we hope to be going. The new tagline. Our philosophy here, the sky is not the limit anymore. The sky is just the beginning. All right? There's no limit to what we can do when we come collectively together as a team. We're financially strong. You're seeing all kinds of improvements on the property because of that. I hope you appreciate all the new metal roofs. We're doing long-term improvements. The roads, thanks to Bill Bachschmidt, all the new painting, the trees, everything is being fixed. Shower House A is a Taj Mahal now. $50,000 later, Rinnai hot water heaters, so there's constant hot water 24/7. Can't run out. All new painting, new screens. So that's the end result of what we've accomplished here as a team. So thank you for that. And with that, I want to get Mr. Adam Lunn up here. Come on up. My best buddy on the airport besides Dean Conrad.
All right, good morning, everyone. So real quick, I'm going to run through this fairly fast, but I do have a very important announcement for general aircraft camping. Let's see here. So we have a lost and found treasure on the airport. If anyone would like to claim a vintage U.S. Airlines car, we unearthed this while building our perimeter road. We do have it on the north side, so if the owner could please see me afterwards, we would love to return it to you. Alright, so on a little bit more serious note, the Lakeland Airport is hosting a Sun and Run 5K. This is going to happen on Saturday, April 14th. And the real important thing with this is that it's going to occur from 7 a.m. until 8 a.m. And the run is actually going to be along the East Perimeter Road. So we ask that all volunteers, all FAA personnel, FAA personnel, please get to your place either north or south of the airport prior to the start of the run at 7 o'clock. We are also going to open up some additional gates on the west side of the airport so that we can facilitate that movement from north to south while the run is occurring. And this run is going to benefit the Lakeland Aero Club as well as the Heart of Florida Women in Aviation chapter. So if anyone knows of anyone who would like to run and participate, you can go to our website, flylakeland.com, and click on the banner and register. The 53rd VSB is having a field training exercise on the West Fields. This is going to be Saturday, April 7th through Sunday, April 8th. So right before the show, we are going to have the U.S. Army unit out here training on the West Field. So we just ask that everyone please use caution operating along Kelvin Howard Road from camper registration down into the campground itself. Airfield mowing, so just to review that, our final cut will be Wednesday, April 4th. All aircraft parking areas are going to be mowed at 3 inches. We just did a finish cut yesterday around the Warburg ramp and in Vintage as well. We're going to mow from east to west, so Chockertown to GAC. And then any additional mowing requests, please send those to Tim Wells. He's going to coordinate with our maintenance supervisor, Craig Stewart, to make sure that your needs are met. Airport credentials and badges. So regular badges, the blue one there on the far left, is only for yearly birds and employees only of Sun and Fun. The event badges are going to be issued to, the one in the middle, to volunteers and those operating on the AOA from Monday, March 26th until 5 p.m. Thursday, April 5th. And then also from 5 p.m. Monday, April 16th after the show until Monday, April 30th. Temporary AOA badges are going to be issued to all of our FAA friends and tech ops. And then post 500, the East Access Road Vehicle Pass, so to go from north to south, will only be issued to the FAA and military support volunteers. And then airport badges are not required, so it's very important, not required, from 5 p.m. Thursday, April 5th until 5 p.m. Monday, April 16th. So if you're operating on the field between those times, you do not need any sort of airport credential other than those issued by Sun and Fun itself. So event badges, if you need to get one, please see us in the back of the room after the meeting. Today is the last day to get your requests in. So if you have any chairmen out there that have some volunteers that still need to get their request in, please see myself or Steph Strickland in the back of the room after the meeting, and we'll make sure to get you guys on that list. You must fill out a regular airport security access application, and Laura Bond needs to sign it. And then make sure you provide 2 forms of IDs for us. You can escort up to 15 people, so not everybody needs one. And please make sure that the badges get back to us by April 19th. We recycle these every year, so it's important we get them back. And volunteers, please speak with your chairman if you have any questions on whether or not you may need a badge. So change condition dates. So runway 523 and 826 are going to close Saturday, March 31st, and going to reopen at 4 p.m. on Thursday, April 19th. All of the southern taxiways are going to go non-movement on Saturday, March 31st on Saturday, March 31st, and reopen at 4 p.m. Thursday, April 19th. Camping will be authorized on the AOA, so inside of our fence, 5 p.m. Thursday, April 5th, until 5 p.m. Monday, April 16th. The airport is closing nightly from 7:30 p.m. to 6 o'clock a.m. That's going to start Sunday, April 18th, or Sunday, April 8th, and go until Monday, April 16th. And then again, airport badge is not required from the 5th through the 16th. So convention procedures, just for a quick reminder, no permanent installations unless approved by the airport. Please call airport operations. It's on every gate, 863-834-4911 prior to coming onto the airfield, so that we can make sure everyone's being safe. We have 3 other active construction projects right now, so we're just trying to keep tabs on where everyone is and where all the moving parts are. Clearance requirements, we ask that everyone stay 300 feet away from the VOR, 35 feet away from the AWAS towers, and 35 feet from all edges of pavement, with the exception of Taxiway Bravo, north of Taxiway Bravo 3. We ask for 60 feet so we can get the C-17 in and out of the static ramp. And contractor volunteer briefing. So immediately following the Air Ops meeting today, we're going to have a contractor volunteer briefing. This is for anyone that would like to attend, and it's geared towards just some general information and knowledge about operating on the airfield, safely, where to report to. So if anyone has any interest in that, we please encourage everyone to attend. It is geared more towards contractors, but we ask that everyone please attend if they can, to just gain a little bit more information. Okay, and I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer Anderson.
Good morning. I just wanted to share some of the roles that we have here at the Sun and Fun event with the FAA. We monitor the air show. We also have the forum briefings, which occur in this area. And we also stand up a temporary FSDO in the event that anybody needs a replacement airworthiness certificate, if you're interested in getting signed off to take the A&P test. Any function that a FSDO can do, we'll be offering up front. So if you have any friends or family that are in need of any certificate guidance, we're happy to provide that. Come in, ask questions, bring the little ones in. If they want to learn how to be a pilot and want to talk to an FAA inspector, we can offer that as well. The types of topics that we're offering for the forum range from wilderness survival to general aviation maintenance insight. We have the UAS regulatory environment and ADS-B solutions. We'll have the postings all throughout the building of when the forums occur and on which day and what time. We've received word this week that the acting administrator will be here on Friday for Meet the FAA Day, along with several senior leadership members of the FAA. So please, I encourage you to stop in. If you have any burning policy questions that you want addressed, please ask the questions, because they're here to answer them, and they're the people that can. So thank you very much. Good morning. Good morning. That's me. Today I'm taking off my CFO hat and I'm putting on my risk management hat. This gentleman is going to show us a cute little video.
Good job.
and watching airplanes.
Oh, we made it.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to talk about insurance now. Okay, like Light said, we have dropped our insurance rates dramatically. Our general liability and event insurance has dropped to $145,000. Hopefully we do not have any golf cart accidents that look like that, but I will tell you that golf carts are a major problem here because we rent more than 400 of them during the event. Plus what?
Personal golf carts.
Oh, plus all the personal golf carts that come out here. So we're asking that you please, like I said, keep it as safe as possible, help us keep these costs down. Our total insurance for everything is about $261,000 a year, which is a huge number, but it is much less than it has been in the past. Some golf cart safety ideas. Pedestrians always have the right of way, and we do have a huge volume of pedestrians, so let's watch out for them. And airplanes, yes. Airplanes have the right of way even on pedestrians, right? Yeah. Okay. We ask that you keep the speed limit to about 5 miles per hour or less. I know we're all in a hurry and what you're doing is the most important thing on the site, but let's try to keep it as low as possible and just constantly go slow around all the people walking around. Because they're not watching for you, they're watching airplanes. Never exceed the maximum capacity for golf carts. This is a big problem, and I know this happens, and I know you're trying to be helpful, but I have a lot of people at the end of the show who show up, and they're trying to help a whole family with grandma and 3 kids, and mom and dad, and the baby, and they're all in one little golf cart. And they show up at the main gate, and they drop them off. I know you're trying to be helpful, and please continue to bring people as close to the parking lot as possible, but try to keep it to, if it's a 4-passenger, keep it to 4 passengers, if possible. Look behind you before you back up. That's a big one. I write up a lot of incident reports every year of people, they just failed to look behind them before they went. So, some other safety issues we just need to keep in mind. Of course, be alert around all the airplanes and moving vehicles. Do not pass the trams. Use of alcohol and drugs on volunteer time is prohibited. Granted, we know you're having fun at night after you're through volunteering, but during the day when you're volunteering, we ask that you not use those items. Sexual harassment is prohibited. I know that's difficult when Tim Wells wears those kinds of outfits. Violent and threatening actions are prohibited. If you have any problem with that, if you'll please let us know. We will, even if it's a guest, I'll be more than happy to come and speak to the guest and just smile and say, I'll be happy to issue a refund and take you to your car if you would like. But we want this to be a family atmosphere. Let's try to keep it that way. To help us out with incidents, report any potholes, unsafe areas, unsafe equipment, just let us know and we'll try to take care of those. Okay, if we do have an emergency, how many of you know that on your radio you can press this little button on the front, P1 button, and that will take you straight to the emergency channel. Or you can just switch to the emergency channel. If you don't have a radio, call 911. We have those services right here on site. Stay where you're at, stay with the victim, stay with the incident, and help the emergency personnel find you. If it's a minor injury, we do have medical hospitality on site. They do a fantastic job. They do all kinds of procedures there. Just take them over there and let them put a Band-Aid or a stitch or whatever. There's a question in the back.
If you're calling 911, you're supposed to tell them you're on the Sun and Fun grounds, correct? Correct, yes. Try to describe best you can where you're located. And if you can, send somebody to the front gate to get an ambulance. Wait for the ambulance and help them find you. Because it's very difficult to say, I'm on the Sun and Fun grounds. Well, dear Lord, that's huge. So you can flag down the ambulance or the police if possible. And then please report all incidents to me. You don't have to call me first, but call me eventually. Take down as much information as you can, or call me and I'll come take down the information. All right? Next, we have Mr. Tim Wells.
I would report you to HR, but you are HR. The irony, right? First of all, good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm here under silent protest. I love you guys, but this is my Christmas. It is 24 days to the big event, our Super Bowl, and we are excited. You can feel it. The energy is through the roof. So I'd like to start off, first of all, with thanking Jen Anderson and the team from FAA to allow us to use their facility for this meeting and all of our meetings. They've been very helpful and cordial. So when you see Jen, please thank her. Let's talk about some of the things that Lights has already spoken to. Shower House A, we have now officially named it Scarlett's Hideaway. This all came from, I'm going to give some credit because Susan doesn't listen to him, but Colonel Hiley, who enlightened me to the fact that Shower House A was once Scarlett's Kitchen years ago. And keeping with our history, we thought that it was proper to go ahead and name it Scarlett's Hideaway. It also, told you I listened to you, Bob. The flyby showcase briefing will still be in there. And Harley Richards, Harley, please stand up. Oh, you are standing, thank you. It's St. Patty's Day, you gotta have some thick skin. The flyby showcase in the new gathering area, obviously as Lights had said, all the upgrades that we have done to it, this is also going to be a facility that people are going to be able to utilize, and I think Vintage are going to be coordinating that you just need to check with them and sign up. There's no cost associated to it, but it's really a nice area now. We have ceiling fans and LED lights on the back porch that's screened in. So it's a nice place to rest and come off the Warburg ramp. But if you have small gatherings or a meeting that you'd like to host, please get with our folks at Vintage and we'll go ahead and set that up for you. As Lights had mentioned already, a very big thank you to our board member, Mr. Bachschmidt. Without his assistance and kind donations, Maintenance Way has now been repaved over by Maintenance, and we moved the dump stations for the motorhomes. We moved them north. So now we'll actually be able to have motorhomes go in there and dump, and we'll still be able to access the road. Also, Laird, right here behind us, behind Cessna, all the way around Shower House A, Scarlett's Hideaway, has also been paved by Mr. Bachschmidt and his company. So please thank him when you see him. What have we done since I've seen you last, right? January. I know the meeting was a lot smoother because Lights was absent.
Shorter, too.
We have not sat around. The maintenance crew has done a wonderful job. I'd personally like to thank all my volunteers that stick around in maintenance, put up with me on a daily basis, and all my team members that I'm so proud of. They're in the back of the room with their blue shirts on. Guys, raise your hands. The 70 events we host here on site, I have gotten nothing but compliments, and it's as simple as pleases and thank yous, and these guys just hit it out of the park every day. We have painted Hohensteins, if you're out there, Bill and Paula, along with our crew. We have painted Shower House C, Shower House D, the announcer stand, the country store, Little House on the Prairie, the golf cart depot, camping welcome building, ladies pavilion, camper host building, camping registration trailer, and numerous guard shacks. So, as you can see, we've been sitting around. We got the new hangar door on the south end of Hangar A. All right, so if you guys see Roland Becker, when he's here, please go thank him at his display booth. the south hangar door on the end of Hangar A, which has now become our events key mark facility. He has donated that. So that's a huge donation, and I think that's his 5th door?
Yep.
5th door that he's donated to Sun and Fun. So if you guys want to figure that out, go price out a door sometime. We did get some roofs completed that Lights had led to, with the idea that what we're trying to do is plan for the future. All right, shingles don't hold up well to hurricanes here in Florida. So we've done metal roofs, and we've got that done on the Seaplane Pilots Association and Home Build. So when you go out there and you check them out, it's really cool looking, and it's very professional. We have a new state-of-the-art digital sign at the campus. This is not for target practice. Pretty pleased. This thing is really, really cool because now it's live time, and with the help of Dave Fuller and Carol Callie, they are on it. I mean, if you ever want to know what's going on, just pull up to the front gate and sit there and watch the sign for a second. All right, they have done just a wonderful job. We've relocated the fence, put a nice LED light on there, and it really shows up very well at night. We do shut it down at
half an hour after sunset, and it comes back on a half hour
after sunset. So that way it doesn't become a target, because we have had issues, believe it or not, with our sign on Pipkin Road. Over 100 picnic tables have been repaired or refurbished. These aren't additional picnic tables, let me clarify that, because some folks had asked me about that. But why is that important? Because our insurance that Tracy had led to, we don't need people sliding across there and getting splinters. All right? Rich and Aaron, I like to call them fondly Aaron. If you guys are here, raise your hands. Thank you very much for all your work. The Raiders trailers, we've done about, I think, 3 Raiders trailers in a new office. We repaired that, as well as, let's see here. Oh, there's some pictures. We've also done a couple of the tram cars. And when I say we've redone them, I came around the corner and there was nothing but a frame there. Bunk was welded on it. We repainted it, redecked it. So, you know, our transportation, we want to make it a safe and friendly environment and a very comfortable environment for our visitors here. So, thank you very much for that. As you can see here, the different shower houses, we have shower house A, the shower house D in the picture there at Home Built. You can see the new metal roof, seaplane, sorry, little house on the prairie. Pulling everything together. The trams I just spoke to, the flower donations. Just to touch base with everyone here, we have gotten your chairman's request. This year, due to the inclement weather, the cold weather that we're all enjoying, as well as Hurricane Irma, they came in and unfortunately had wiped out our plant population. It's not that these folks are unwilling, they're unable to give us a hand this year. So we went from 3,700 plants last year to 350.
Wow.
Yeah. So what we're going to ask this year is we put some skin in the game, myself personally, with the maintenance budget to try to help that out with the help of the flower babes, identify different areas to make our place. We got to take care of the house first to make it welcoming, all right, to make it a wonderful event that it is. I would ask each and every one of you that if you could help us out, help us help you, okay? If you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, you pick up a flat. If you have an area that you guys want to get flowers taken care of, which we've done in the past, I'm going to ask, pretty please, if you grab them, just bring them over to maintenance. We'll pot them for you. We'll make it happen. But as you can see, 350 versus 3,750 is a big deal. Lights, I'll let you speak to this. You want the mic here for a second?
You guys can hear me back there?
Yeah.
All right, well, one of our board members, Bill Boxschmidt, that did the paving, he authorized, he would pay to double whatever you guys put in, for flowers, plants. You bring it, check it in with maintenance, we'll tally all that up, and then he will match that and double whatever you bring in, another round. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, lights. We'll sing a duet after this is over, since now I know you guys. The Honda. Our folks at Honda, our friends Tom Pernice and the crew at Honda, every year they come through with over 50 generators, light towers, weed eaters, pruners, without fail every time. And every time I speak to Tom, he goes, Tim, what else can I do to help you? So I've been trying to get a new car out of him. It hasn't worked quite yet. Anyway, please, I asked everyone, the Honda display always is just east of Sunset Grill on the concrete pad. So when you get around the campus, please stop there and thank them. It was a huge help this year during Irma. All right, it really had taken care of not only our staff, but also some yearly birds that are here that got caught behind the 8-ball. As they would say, Laura has a new tree in her house, and it's not a tree house. You know, that was a huge, huge donation, and I'd really like to personally thank them. It's huge. The millings that Lights had spoken to at the parking lots at the Crossfield Center. Guys, there are millings. There are more millings around here than the law allows, I'm sure, or not. But I really, where's Chris Hallstrand? Chris, stand up for me. Come on. I know you're back there somewhere. Anyway, Chris calls me Tim Copperfield. And I said, okay, I'll play along. What's that for? He goes, because David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear. He said, I came around the corner the other day on the northwest corner of our field, and our millings mountain that we had is gone. He goes, I didn't even see a puff of dust. He goes, that's incredible. I said, well, you said I could have some millings. We never quantified some. There's over 80 triaxle loads of millings that we have put down to make it more convenient for our guests and our visitors. Out on Joliet Hotel, in Camp Duffy, the Golf Cart Pass. The list goes on and on, the 42 acres. Again, with the help of our friend Jeremy Brown, chairman of the Raiders.
Yeah, Jeremy!
Thank you. Jeremy donated not only a big John Deere loader and a law, telehandler, big forklift that shoots out, since Hurricane Irma. So since September, we've had these pieces of equipment from him for free. He turns around and I said, hey, Sanford died, our old dump truck, and set my hair on fire. That's why I no longer have any. I said, Jeremy, I need a dump truck. He goes, when? The very next day, he calls me, he goes, the dump truck will be there Friday. My employee, Art, will be driving it. And also, I'm going to send over a loader for you. And he goes, you know what? I'm not doing much on Friday. I'm going to come run the loader for you. A loader, a dump truck, a front-end loader, the law, then a ditch witch. So we could put the new lights out on the C-47 when you guys come through the gate at night. They're awesome. It just lights the plane up. It looks so cool. He sends us a ditch witch. Guys, this is stuff that, you know, it saves us huge in rental, all right? I'm trying to get a Bobcat out of him. I'll still work on that. From Don, my predecessor, who I got the kilt from. Upgrades to the Warbird ramp. Why is this important? Again, this is us trying not to be generator dependent and rental equipment dependent. From the kindness of our friends at the airport, they allowed us to go out, upgrade the transformer, and make more power out there. So knock on wood, God willing and the good Lord smiling, we won't have any generators out there, right?
Correct.
So this is all for the convenience of our customers and for the best of our pocket. So it's really great. The Phillips 66 compass, the compass rose that used to be Bose. If you guys haven't seen that yet, go check it out. Actually, Jen stopped, she texted me the other day and she goes, can I use the front door? I don't want to walk across the wet paint. I said it was painted 2 weeks ago. I said it doesn't matter, we'd still blame the FAA anyway. She is, I knew she was hiding. Camping registration, we got a new roof, the awnings are on order, and we have a new exit road. And why was this important? Because it's a safety issue. Because of all the construction that's going on over on the airport, the international airport, we were unable to use the exit road that we used in years past. So again, I got with Chris and I got with Adam, and working together as a team, we came up with a solution. There's a gate just east of the entrance gate. which this year is now going to be the exit gate. And again, beg, borrow, steal, and plead, I said to Chris, I just need a couple more bucket loads of millings. Cut in a brand new road out there. Yes, sir.
Thanks for the power for CAP and support of the CAP campground.
You're very welcome. That's yeah, I skipped over that. Thank you, Doug. The permanent electric at the Lakeland Aero Club. Here again, a situation, we've moved the Civil Air Patrol and their troops from out in the 42 acres show center right outside the Lakeland Aero Club. And working very closely with them, we identified what their needs were for power. And again, every year, if we're going to continue to do this, we'd have to continue with the generator, with fueling it over and over. I got with Sparky One and our electricians, and they said, no problem, Tim, we got it. With the help of Mike Z and the board at the Lakeland Aero Club allowed us to tap into their electric, and we added 4 30-amp receptacles. That now, all we have to do is plug in. There's not going to be any generators. And this is long-term stuff like metal roofs that Light speaks about. You know, this is really what keeps us moving. So, thank you. Our tool crib. For those folks that have not seen the tool crib, if you have not seen it, it is awesome. Now, I'm going to tell you, the guy that's in charge of the tool crib this year, all right, he's a very friendly guy, but policies and procedures he lives by. David Wall, I don't know where you are. I don't know. There, he's hiding. There we go. I twisted David's arm, and I think he's regretting it, but moving from mobile registration, he's now the tool crib chairman. And David has done a wonderful job with Ken Lennox and the help of the IT department and the staff working together. We now have an electronic inventory of all of our stuff in the maintenance department. Everything that's in the tool crib and the mezzanine, everything has a barcode on it, and it also has a location code on it. So it has a bin, so we know what's coming in and what's going out. We've never had that before. This was a huge undertaking. Thank you to my staff this past summer for being up in that mezzanine, me included. I should probably get back up there. It was a great way to lose a couple pounds. But anyway, please understand when we're working with David, that David has a job to do, and it's got to be on the chairman's list with Laura. It's got to be approved or it's not going out of the tool crib. All right? So pleases and thank yous. Make sure you got that updated. We'll be more than happy to take care of it for you. Yes, ma'am.
Back to the road camper registration and explain that they're not going out here on any.
Yes. The exit road at camping registration is no longer going to be Kidron. All right? We're not going to make that right anymore at the gate. We're going to go straight back towards camping registration, and we're going to exit just east of the camping registration building. So it's a change. You guys can all see it if you go on Drainfield Road. I think, as a matter of fact, I have a picture, or I did have a picture in here somewhere. Okay, it didn't get put in. Anyway, it will be signed appropriately. That was Tracy's job. I pushed that off on her. Thank you very much. And it is snow fence, so once we get on that road, you're not going to be able to get off of there. So, last but not least, we just put a roof over the corn roast area. Again, it was an old wooden roof that was, unfortunately, weathered not so well. Now it's all aluminum, and it looks really good, and it looks really professional. And that's all the time I'm going to take of yours. Thank you very much for everything that you do, making this a successful event. And as they say in Ireland, Aaron, go brawl.
Gary Clark, we're going to add Gary in right now. He's got to go to a meeting after this. This is our chairman for the Veterans Plaza. He's also the head veteran for all of Polk County.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Actually, what I have to get to is the Tigers, each spring training game, honor a military hero of the game. Yesterday, for example, to keep with the aviation theme, was a B-17 flight engineer, turret gunner, who was shot down in his third mission over Germany and was held as a POW for a year and a half before he was released and liberated. And he's 97 years old. And the guy was incredible, tears in his eyes, as the crowd cheered him. Today will be the biggest crowd they have with the Yankees playing. So I arranged to have the veteran of the day. We've had 4 POWs, 1 Tuskegee Airman. Al Jefferson is one of the only 3 left, who threw out the first pitch and honored at the Tigers. It's a great thing the Tigers do. If you're not Tigers fans, become one, okay? 2 things, real quick. One is Veterans Plaza. Everybody know where Veterans Plaza is? As you come in the main gate, past the ticket office, we're the first thing there. We'll have a number of displays and the things. I never know who's all going to show up, but I know the reenactors are coming in. Air America is going to be there. A number of the Vietnam groups will be there as well. The VA will bring out its van, so if you know of veterans that need some assistance, either filing paperwork or whatever, the VA will be there. And we also had the bloodmobile, I think. If Kenny's around, he gives me the bloodmobile. And we'll have other things there as well. After the air show on Friday and Saturday nights, after the air show starting about 5 o'clock, we're going to have live entertainment, okay, and maybe a beverage or 2. So you may want to stop by if you have nothing else to do, and it'll be there for a couple hours. Flight to Honor. This will be the 3rd year we've done Flight to Honor in conjunction with Sun and Fun. This will be our 5th flight out of here. We'll leave out of Lakeland Linder Airport with the help of Adam and his crew over there. We'll return on the Warbird ramp. It's an Airbus 320. We'll have 149 passengers on it. Headed up to, pardon? It's Wednesday this year, which makes it a little bit different than last year. In the last 2 years, it's been Thursday. It'll be Wednesday this year. And so it's scheduled to get back sometime between 6 and 6:30. And so we're going to have a crowd of people that will be coming in to meet their families. And we're asking them to park in the Lindbergh lot. Teresa knows to tram them in. We'll have folks out there to help direct as well for them to come in. But we expect a big crowd. Kids out, JROTC, cadets, etc., to welcome these folks back home. For some of these folks, it'll be their last ride. We have a week ago we had 10 World War II vets scheduled to go. This morning, the obituary of one of those was in the paper. So we're running out of those, and but we will have about 25 Korean War vets on there, and the remainder will be Vietnam and later. So anyway, that's the schedule. If you see somebody that wants to know when they're coming back, it's Wednesday about between 6 and 6:30 on the Warbird ramp. We'll have the band out there. We'll have working with Doug and the crew to arrange the ramp for their return. So if there's any questions, you can ask me. I appreciate being able to jump the line here a little bit so I can get up to Tiger Town. But any quick questions, be glad to answer. If not, thank you all very much.
It's my pleasure to speak with you up here because for over 25 years I've sat in the audience, and as a volunteer, it's thrilling for me to be able to be a part of the staff and to take it to the next level from a marketing perspective. So, so the theme this year, you saw a commercial, hope you liked it. It's going to be hitting the TV probably this weekend. We've already started a lot of other type of marketing activities, but the theme this year you can see is Experience the Thunder, of course, for the Thunderbirds. But there's lots of activities and other performers that kind of fit that theme of thunder, and Greg will take you through that. So just so you know, for flying advertising specifically, I get that question a lot. We're doing all kinds of different community presentations. We've done before groups in Orlando. We've gone in front of groups here in Lakeland. Not only are we talking about the flying itself, but we're also talking about the tie-in of the funds from the flying going towards the Aerospace Center for Excellence and what we do for the various education programs that go along with that program. You saw the Lakeland Aero Club and the different pilots that they're putting together. It's also, Rochelle's education programs, Jamie's Aerospace Discovery programs. We touch over 10,000 kids a year. So getting that word out into the community, we're doing it multiple ways. The flying advertising is also going to be on radio and TV, as I said. Mobile and static billboards. You're going to see buses. You're going to see mobile billboards. You know, these tractor trailers just pulling the sign around. Usually I'm told pull it away. Okay. Also the publications, flying magazines, AOPA and Aviation Desk Digest. Not only are we highlighting the actual performers and who are coming, but we're also trying to make people more aware of where these funds go to. So such as that thank you from the Aerospace Center for Excellence, that's going to be in AOPA's magazine that will be distributed here at the fly-in, as well as spreads of advertising and trade of plane, basically tying it again to the Aerospace Center for Excellence. And at the same time, we're also doing year-round advertising. So we do have the various events. We do have those various venues that we can take advantage of here on the campus. So we're trying to highlight those as well in various parts. Like this is an example of the Style magazine, which covers Lake and Sumter counties, primarily the villages, in their near and far travel edition. So not only are we doing the fly-in advertising, we're doing year-round advertising. One more. So a couple of these have already been highlighted, and I just wanted to call out some of the cool new stuff that we're doing here at the fly-in. Veterans highlights. Gary just took you through that. As he said, the honor flight coming in Wednesday night. That if you've not come out to see that and to give your support to these families and these gentlemen and women coming off the plane as they come off after a long day of being up in our nation's capital, it's breathtaking. It's just a very moving moment. I strongly suggest you get out there. You're going to probably be going out for the nighttime air show anyway. Just go out a little earlier and welcome these folks back. The Sun and Run already covered by the Lakeland Winder Airport. They wanted to make sure that we advertise it as well. There you go. And also, what we are going to be doing too is, what else is new? We are going to have a mobile app. It's sponsored by We Love Aero, which is a subsidiary of Airbus. So again, due to Greg's great sponsorship efforts, we're getting more entrenched with other type organizations. So this organization itself, we will be rolling out the mobile app soon. So bear with us. It's a new shot for us, and it's a new shot for them working together. So we'll get that rolled out and launched very soon, and we will have advertising at the front gate too, encouraging folks, if they've not already downloaded the app, to do so. It will have things on there such as background of the performers, what the daily schedules are, what the map is. So not only you'll have the in-flight guide, which will be handed out, but you'll also have access to the mobile app. And next is Michelle.
Yep.
Typically, you would be hearing from Rob Williams. So he apologizes that he's not here today. He's in San Francisco with the Aviation Community Foundation, trying to support some of our educational ventures that we're working towards. There we go. So this is why we do what we do. We heard from Michael and Leighton this morning, who are two of our private pilots that have been produced from the Lakeland Aero Club. So we are supporting the Sun and Fun Flying event is supporting what we're doing year-round through all of our educational ventures. These are some of the educational programs that happen during the fly-in. Rob's done a great job with the career fair. So this is where ExpressJet, Frontier Airlines, these companies that are searching for their pilots, because we know we have the drought in pilots right now. So we're actually putting these students that we're producing pilots into their careers. So it's their career fair fills up every year. So ROTC Symposium, it should say Junior ROTC Symposium. Mr. Gary Clark that spoke a moment ago and Brett Krause have done a great job with this. This is an event where students come and they meet the Thunderbird team. It's it's a recruiting event, so on Friday, yes, Friday morning. Aerospace Educators Workshop, that's an event where we invite educators, and Barbara Walters-Phillips has done a great job with the presenters this year. So we're doing presentations for to teach teachers how to incorporate aerospace into their curriculum. If you're interested, or any of your volunteers are interested in attending the career fair, then please email careerfair@flysnf.org. And then the All-Star Rendezvous, Rob has asked that you email to RSVP. If you're a museum member, you're invited to the All-Star Rendezvous Friday night.
All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. I have to follow a kilt. I don't know. I got nothing.
You got two hats.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
You have two hats.
I do have two hats. That's right. It's one to have, one the other gets stolen. You know, we're talking to some of the folks this morning about this, and Tim McKim, of course, this being his Christmas, and it is a lot like waiting for Christmas to get here with Sun and Fun. It's also a lot like waiting for the hurricane to get here, which you know is coming. So we've got both. Either one is going to be exciting. So there's definitely, if you look at the slides and look at the way things are being done now, those of you who've been here for a while, you can definitely see the evolution of what this meeting may have used to look like, say, 20 years ago versus what you see now. And it's really, you know, the evolution of the cause, the professionalism that it takes to deliver that cause, and everyone that has come on with that has just been a phenomenal asset, and just really grateful as to how all that has come together. So thank you, as always. Adam mentioned, before I jump into some of the slides here, Adam mentioned the mowing that's going on there, and I was taxiing around doing some flying yesterday, and I was noticing I'm not sure I've taxied through a golf course before. But that's what that airside looks like out there. The mowing is absolutely phenomenal. So Adam and your team did a fantastic job out there on the airside, guys. Can we just give them a hand real quick? It's just great. All right, and as Adam mentioned, on March 31st, the airside will go to non-movement. And those airport tenants are going to still be moving. So let's just be on the lookout for those if you're out there moving around. They do have a procedure that's in place for non-movement, so they know what they're doing. Just make sure you stay out of their way, because they still have operations going all the way up to the day before the flying, so you need to just be aware of that. It will be decreasing, but just keep in mind that there will be airplanes moving back and forth. Some of those other things that we talked about last time, the different tenants that have come on board. Definitely a very robust and vibrant environment, and the airport infrastructure is there to assist that. So there may be new facilities, there's new wiring, there's new fences, there's lots of things as the airport continues to evolve. You may have left last year, come back this year and said, well, that wasn't there. You're going to have that about 100 times, because these people are on the move. So make sure that you're staying cognizant of all of those things and aware. All right, as some of you may have heard, we had a safety simulation not too long ago in which Lights and I were killed. And rumors of our deaths were greatly exaggerated. So, Laura was shot. They saved Laura. I was awake when they came into my office, and apparently they didn't see the need to put me on the ambulance, but she went away. So I'm not sure if that was a message. I figured it had something to do with Bill Lowry's people. That might have had something to do with that, but I don't know. At any rate, it was a great exercise. We went through a lot of different things, and I want to reiterate and expand on some of the things that Tracy mentioned earlier. In any emergency, you as chairman have got the responsibility of making certain that you get your people mustered into a secure area. You want to have accountability for everybody that's under your guidance. So make sure you got a head count, make sure they're accounted for. Your priority is to see to it that all of your people are accounted for. And then you are to stand by and wait for instructions. We've got every professional institution or first responder is here, all of them. There's even people here that you might not be aware of. There's an FBI contingent here that's roaming around the field. There's a number of different things that are here to deal with these things as they happen. So our job, unless you're standing next to the person to pull them away from something, then your job is not to respond to the accident, and please don't. We have the professionals do that. Our job is to await those instructions, and then once it's here, it's either going to be keep everybody in or get everybody out. So one way or the other, it's going to be, or somewhere in between, but ours is going to be mostly customer and guest management, which does include ourselves. There's 3,500 people to manage within that operation. So just bear those things in mind. We are part of the FEMA control, or FEMA, I guess, designated guidance that is the incident command system. And that command structure is a professional structure that's followed by all emergency responders in order to develop a unified command in the case of an incident. There'll be an incident commander that's appointed from one of the jurisdictions that has the most to do with the accident, and then the rest will report to that commander. Sun and Fun has representatives that are part of that structure, and we'll be following that. So if you ever want to look it up, just look up FEMA ICS, and you'll see all about it. Matter of fact, there's some civilian courses online that are free, and it wouldn't hurt as chairman to become familiar with those operations, because that's what we'll be following. Each of you chairmen, make sure you know who your staff liaison is. There's a lot of you and not that many of us, so make sure that you've got a staff liaison, because chances are your instructions are going to be coming through that staff liaison because of the way the system works in the event of an emergency. You also need to, we've went over this before, make sure you identify and name anybody that's your second. Now, you just may be off the campus getting groceries. It doesn't mean you were the accident like Lights and I were the other day, but there may be a reason that you're not here, or you took the year off, or whatever it was that happened. Your second in command needs to assume your responsibilities and make sure that all the emergency procedures are known so we don't miss a step. Again, don't engage the incident unless it's absolutely necessary. That means that the person that's right there is about to get run over by something, pull them out of the way. Just make sure that we don't add to the problem. Again, assist is requested by your chairman, and this last one is not because you're not informed, not because you're not important, because we need control of the environment. Please do not engage with any media. If something happens and they want to know your opinion on something, you just don't have one. Just tell them that you refer to that to the public information officers that are at Sun and Fun. The media will have access to all of those. So if they are credentialed media, they're going to know who those people are. If they're not credentialed media, they don't need to know anyway, so don't worry about it. Just tell them that I'm really not authorized to talk about that, but you can check in at our media center. There'll be some information there. That's about the best way to handle that sort of thing. Any questions on some of the emergency procedures? We don't do too much of a deep dive, but anybody have just a general question on response? Okay. All right, air show schedule. Hasn't changed. The field's going to open at 7 o'clock daily and close at 7:30. The air show's going to end at 5:30 daily. It actually ends just a little bit prior to, but just for your planning purposes, it'll be cleared out by then. Start times at 2 o'clock on Tuesday and Wednesday. The night show at 7:30. 1 o'clock the rest of the week, 7:30 again for the night show on Saturday. All right, Air Force highlight, or air show highlights again, about the Thunderbirds. We are definitely confirmed with the Super Hornet attack demo, which is always a crowd pleaser. A lot of noise there. Those are pretty amazing to watch those guys do what they do. Paraglider team, which we are almost finished. Gary, I think we can safely say they're going to be doing some sort of activation down in Paradise City in the evening. Is that right? Where'd you go? Where's Gary? Okay. Okay, but yeah, I think that's going to be a neat addition down there. The idea being to draw more attention into Paradise City, and that very valuable area of entry for flight. People want to learn how to fly or get their first, whatever their budget can afford. That's a great place to do it, is through the light sport multi-light environment. So we're excited to have that. Randy Ball will be a Big 17 demo, which you actually saw in the video there, listed as a modern military aircraft. We didn't catch it in time. The Tora, for those of you who have not seen that, it's a reenactment of the Pearl Harbor invasion on December 7th, 1941. The announcing, the pyro, the aircraft going every which way, it is absolute bedlam, and it is one of the most impressive displays of aerobatic skill and heart-moving historical commentary that you will ever witness. It's happening on Saturday and Sunday during the fly-in, and it is nothing short of amazing. I hope that you're able to watch that, because it's something that is just a phenomenal thing to see. And if you visited, you've had the honor of actually visiting Pearl Harbor and seeing what that destruction was like. To have this as a reminder of it is just a very valuable history lesson. I hope you'll all take time to participate. Class of 45, into the history side of things also, we have a Corsair and Mustang to do
a two-ship demo, which is very interesting to watch, and they also have some pyro associated with that. And to that, with the Super Hornet and those characters there, we are confirmed for the Legacy flight this year, which has not been here in some time. So Legacy flight will be that F-18 Hornet. We'll go with at least a Corsair. We also have an SD-2C Helldiver that's going to be here that's part of the Legacy series. We could have as many as 4 ships in the air, so we're pretty excited about that. We do have new pyro companies you might have seen in the video, and they are bringing a brand new fireworks show. I've seen it, and it is absolutely spectacular. And along with that little display of pyrotechnic amazement, and it's a 1,000-foot wall of fire. If you've never seen one of those things, get ready. And whatever on you that is wet, after that goes off, it will not be. So if you spilled your beer at some point, get up front. Take care of that. It is amazing. If you want to see $5,000 go up smoke in less than 2 seconds, that's the place to stand. All right, Warbird ramp. Parking plan out there on the Warbird ramp. There isn't one. Don't. Next topic. It will be static from this point forward. We had great success with that last year. Doug and Brett and their team are working on. They're cooking up a pretty good display out there. You thought it was packed this last year. Wait till you see it this year. It is absolutely one of the most dramatic changes we've made in customer experience so far. We're really pleased with it, so expect that to continue to improve. No, seriously, no vehicles on the ramp, golf carts or anything else. We've got some Secret Service people out there that are going to run you down. We do have designated parking zones, so you have plenty of places where you won't have to walk too far, but please, if I didn't mention already, don't drive on the ramp. All right. No parking, if you would, please, next to the Warbird building as well as the thoroughfare. Bonnie's aircraft exhibitors are coming through there quite often, so please don't park there. We do have dedicated Warbird pilot parking again. It's area east of 523. Did very well last year. We expect it to expand. As always, and it was mentioned earlier, please have courtesy for the trams. Don't pass them. Just go a different route. Get out from behind if they're holding you up. Remember, we got 5 miles an hour anyway. That's about the speed that they go, so if you're matching them, you're doing good. All right, some other highlights. The big screens are back. Victor's Arsenal Theater, we just got the contract back in this morning. It's now actually being sponsored by Aerospace, who has stepped up quite dramatically this year. They also provided another 10 barrels of smoke oil at about $900 a barrel. So when that stuff is getting blown out of aircraft out there, you wonder what would that cost? Now you know. We'll be going through about 40 barrels of that stuff. So it's a pretty impressive amount, and it's a pretty significant donation for Aerospace to step up and do that. We had a need this year, and they responded without question, in addition to some additional cash sponsorship. So I'm very excited about that. They also have committed to, and I'm not sure how many of you have heard about Rochelle's transition to the Sky program. In the same agreement, they've also donated $3,000 to support that. So when you see Aeroshell out there on the field, make sure you thank them. Now, the team will have some knowledge of it, but the guys in the booth are really the ones I want you to see. So if you don't mind, swing by there and thank Paul and Rodney and that team in there. They've just stepped up incredibly this year. In Victor's Arsenal Theater, you'll have Teresa Eamon performing every day. If you haven't heard her, she's just wonderful. You'll sit there in dream state while she sings to you. It's really magnificent. Colonel Dick Cole will be here, the last surviving Doolittle Raider. He'll be part of several things from Thursday through Sunday, so be looking for Colonel Cole in a couple of different places. A P-63 King Cobra, for those of you who haven't seen one of those, it's a pretty dramatic aircraft. It looks a lot like a P-39 Air Cobra. It just has a lot more oomph to it, and unfortunately it didn't really make it into the war, but they used it as a test aircraft for the early space program. Now what's fun about it is, not only will it be there, but NASA out of Houston has agreed to send a T-38 test plane. Will be coming with us. So we'll be showcasing both of those in Victor's Arsenal Theater, along with the pilots that fly and flew them. And we have a couple as yet to be confirmed astronauts that will speak to the quality of that program and the evolution of it. So it should be pretty exciting. We are going to twice a day here in Victor's Arsenal, so there'll be 2 highlighted events per day. Classic jet walk around. We've got a ramp full of classic jets this year. We'll be doing that again. And of course, we've already mentioned the flight to honor, which I hope everyone will come out and participate in that. It's a very moving event. Okay, last time I mentioned the pre-flight show. There's an updated graphic now. This is what it's going to look like. And this is going to be, if you ever watch any sporting event and there's a pregame show, it's going to look like this. So if ESPN Game Days is pretty much the model. But you'll have a couple of segments that happen prior to the daily air show, and Harley will need to talk. I want to make sure we're working around the showcase. We don't expect this to impact anybody's time. It's just going to fill in other time that hasn't been filled prior. So we'll need to coordinate the first segment around the flyby showcase, and other than that, it'll be basically filling time that hasn't been used elsewhere. But it's really slick, should be very professionally produced. We've got, again, Live Air Show TV is going to be producing that, and they produce all the content you see on the screen, so pretty dramatic uptick for us on the entertainment side of things. Steph Strickland, I mentioned last time, she is a professional news anchor out of the West Coast. This is actually her very first trip to Florida. She's a huge air show junkie, and she's very professional. You'll enjoy how she interacts. Her job will be to get around and make sure that all of our exhibitors and people that are conducting business here on the fly-in are being highlighted. So they'll do a FaceTime live broadcast during the mornings, during the day. She will step over to some of the entertainment from time to time, but her main priority is to go through and showcase the technology and all the products and all the things that people can see. So hopefully if they're just watching it on Facebook Live, it'll inspire them to come visit us in 2019. I mentioned earlier again that I can't stress enough, these guys continue to show up. Front Style is sponsoring the Air Show Majors series, which Sun and Fun is now the inaugural event. There are 4 events that are part of that, as Lakeland, New York Jones Beach, Cleveland National Air Show, and also Wings Over Houston. All 4 of these events are some of the oldest and most respected in the country. I have gotten word they are expanding that. It won't be this year. They have at least 7 for next year, and they do plan to expand it up to 10 by year 3. It's going very well. Red Frog Events is the kind of the brainstorming entity behind this, and they were able to sell the presenting sponsorship of the series to Grunt Style, which if you look around, I think Brett and Shelley are wearing some of their product right there. They've got some pretty diverse product. They have provided all of the t-shirts for the volunteers. And those of you who saw that Laura's email that went out, they have got a pretty cool design. It's definitely a step up from where we've been in the past. And I didn't have a chance to get in a slide, but part of their sponsorship, Grunt Style had a pretty sweet package that they had with Red Frog just for being the presenting sponsor of the series. Well, they decided they wanted to activate as well. So part of that activation, they will have 2 selling points here on the campus. That's an independent contract with us, independent of the Air Show Majors deal, and they will have product for sale and whatnot. And of that product that they sell, they're going to donate 10% of the proceeds back to Sun Fun and the Aerospace Center for Excellence. So it is a major investment. It should probably top between $35,000 and $50,000 is what we're looking at out of that arrangement. They also donated I don't know if Lori got this message or not, but they also donated a crate, a Grunt Style crate, they call it, $500 worth of apparel for the silent auction that they'll have on Thursday night. And then also, part of their deal is they have an advertisement they can put on Jumptron screens, which of course would advertise their business. But what they chose for their advertisement was that they were donating 10% of all their proceeds to the Aerospace Center for Excellence, and they made it about us instead of about them. So this is a very patriotic organization. This is a very, grassroots, certainly conservatives, but they stand behind the flag and they stand for what they stand for. They make no bones about who they are and what they mean to do, and it's very refreshing in this day and age. So I hope you'll welcome them. They're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff all over the campus. And let's see, there's the t-shirt design. And we do remiss if we didn't thank Signature Flight Support as they continue to support that t-shirt effort by having their logo on there. But this time we did not have to spend their donation on the shirts since they were donated. So we doubled down in effect. So very, very impressive. All right, with that, Ms. Robin, thank you.
Okay, let's see if my talent says IT go forward. Okay, I'm going to make this short and sweet because I know you've been sitting for a long time. Okay, first thing we're going to talk about is new volunteer requests. I know that a lot of you have heard from Susan Tarver. Okay, she's not going to wait forever to hear from you. So if you haven't done something with the volunteers she sent you, Be respectful. Get on the horn. Call these people. Email these people. Find out if they're a fit for your area. If not, give them back. Because if you don't, in 2 weeks, they come back to us automatically and we put them somewhere else. Because we've had too many people falling through the cracks, and we're not going to do that to people anymore. We're growing our family fast and furious. So get on board with us and help us to do that. Okay, the other thing is, let's see. Oh, we have plenty of posters and stickers. Please get them and take them everywhere. Put them up. Ask your local people, your dry cleaners, your grocery stores, your local taverns, whatever you go to and do a lot of, go and put them up so we can tell people about what we're doing here. We want to fill this place up for the fly-in. And, let's see, after the event, online volunteer information update. After the fly-in and the dust has settled and you're back into life as we know it, we're going to contact you to make sure that all your information that you have given us is correct on your volunteers and on yourself. So be nice and share your contact information so that we can keep you informed on what we're doing here. Tail dragger tickets. They are again this year. All right? Only order tickets for people that are going to the tail dragger. We are trying to get an accurate account of how many meals that we are going to need so that we don't go crazy and over-order food. I'm not trying to feed the multitudes. I'm just trying to feed all of you and make you have a good time at a good party. So help us do that. So order your tickets. There's a place for them to do that. We have really made a big deal out of giving out service pins. And Ford Heacock, I don't know if he's here, has done a marvelous job. And last year he had the best time. Is it the red button? No. It's the arrow? Oh, I did it. Celebrating our volunteers' years of service. And there's some of the pictures. I have loads of pictures. So if you had a picture made last year of your pin experience, call me and let me know, and I can email that to you. But he had the best time, and we are honoring you. Help us to do that, because we're going to continue taking pictures. We're going to continue honoring. We're going to continue getting out there with our board members and having a good time. And actually, I thought that Ford was a quiet, conservative guy. But the pictures I got of him out there with the volunteers were just so much fun. And that's one of them, right here in the bottom right. So anyway, love you all. Stay safe. Is that the bottom right? No, it's the left. It's my right, your left. Is that right? I'm not very good. My husband says I get an Indian loss, and that's pretty bad. So anyway, and I work at an aviation place. Woohoo! That's not good. I can see Lights is going, okay, she's going to have some training after this meeting. Anyway, okay. I have to keep him on his toes, you know. And next up is Laura Vaughn.
So I've been busy writing down notes during this whole thing, so I'm going to change, or I'm going to add to what I'm saying here. But first of all, who of you were at the meeting last month? Right, okay. So first of all, I want to thank David Query and Fred Kaiser, who worked diligently earlier this week to get the sound operational in the back of the room. Okay, so credentials. For those of you who have submitted your credentials and you have received an email saying that they have been filled, the credential office will be open until 3 p.m. this afternoon. That is in the Crossville Center. The ladies there will be glad to help you pick up your packet and go through it. I would suggest that while you're there picking up your packet, to open it up and review, especially your vehicle passes, to make sure they're correct due to the snafu that we had with the ordering system earlier this week. So please verify your vehicle passes. If you have a big issue that I need to get involved in, please come by my office. I'll be here probably till 3 as well. Okay, so a lot of information has passed through the meeting today, and everybody's been alluding to everything that was going on, or that will be going on. I encourage you to go to our website and check out our online daily schedule. We have a very robust schedule this year, and everything is listed there. It gives you times and dates and locations. The daily schedule is easy to find right from the front page of the website. If you're looking for something in particular, please visit the schedule and look it over. We have over 900, almost 900 entries on our daily schedule this year. We have filled every spot in our educational forums except for Sunday. Our educational forum is completely filled this year, so that's pretty amazing. Okay, early volunteer, Becky was in the back of the room early, Becky Clarkson, who works in my office, and she was issuing the early campground permits. So if you did not get them from Becky earlier, we will be in my office after the meeting and the training. You can still go over there and pick up your camping permit. If you have pre-ordered it, we will do some if you didn't pre-order, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, please ask me about it when you get over there, and I'll show you how to do that for next year. It makes the system flow very quickly when you do that. Also, if you are not picking up your camping permit early and you are going to be picking it up through camper registration, please keep in mind that you have to pick up your own, or a volunteer has to pick up their own camping permit, because that volunteer has to sign for that camping permit. So you as a chairman, just like when you come to my office now for the early ones, we're not handing out camping permits in lump sums. Your volunteer will have to go to camper registration, pick up their permit, and sign for it. So please do not go up there and expect to pull your whole area's camping permits and take them with you. It just does not work that way anymore. Okay, Camp Duffy. We have gone through the Camp Duffy procedures and everyone has been approved. However, I have not been able yet to get them in the system to mark them. I will do that this weekend. Everyone that has confirmed that they're going to be here this year that was in Camp Duffy last year are already confirmed. There's no issue there. But the new entries, I have to go in and make sure that those are approved. Hopefully the ones that were not approved have been contacted by now by one of our committee members. Equipment request deadline was March the 1st. And I am busy right now finalizing approvals on everything. So if you have any last minute changes or additions to your equipment request, please get it in as soon as possible. Now is the time when I start submitting my reports to my vendors that will be supplying items. Flying Supply has to make their orders in order to give you what you need out of Flying Supply. So any last minute changes, we'll take them, but we're not going to be able, we may not be able to fill your order or your request. Chairman hats, Becky had those in the back as well this morning. She was going back over to my office early to prepare for your arrival. So we will also have chairman hats over in my office if you have not already picked up yours. We will only be issuing chairman hats for chairman and co-chairman that are on the chairman list. Greg talked about the volunteer t-shirts. Aren't they wonderful? Yeah. I ordered over 3,400 volunteer t-shirts yesterday. So the order has been put in. So there won't be any additions. I ordered from the 5 o'clock numbers yesterday. So if you got your credentials in before 5 o'clock, then you should be good for at least the ones, the volunteers that you have credentials by that time. The Volunteer Center in Lost and Found, we touched on this last meeting. It is relocating over by the gate by Vintage Hospitality. So not only is that building going to be a registration area, but that's also going to be our Lost and Found and Volunteer Center. The building has been there, has it been there 2 years or 3 years? 2 years. So the building's been there 2 years, so hopefully you've seen it and know what I'm talking about.
we have a gate number?
I would say yes, but the airport has changed some of the gate numbers, so I'm not sure I know the exact number, but I can put that out in an email and let everyone know. But it's the gate right by the quarters. Okay, so Carol alluded to our in-flight guide when she was speaking. I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up. For those of you who do equipment requests, in the past you've requested program books and info guides and maps and stickers. The info guide and the program book, we've combined it now, and it's our in-flight guide. And then the map will be folded, and it will be inside the in-flight guide, so it's all going to be one piece. So I've modified your equipment request if you had them on there, and it's just the one item now. But Melissa has done a terrific job. We've reformatted the map this year with a lot more information on it. So we're looking forward to having the one piece. Hopefully you can get whatever you need out of it. It's going to have primarily our schedules and all the event information that our info guide had in it, with just a few other things added to it. So hopefully it's going to be very helpful for you to move through the flying. Okay. The sign shop will be open until 2 p.m. today for those of you who need to pick up your signs. And as I said before, the credential office will be open until 3. And camper permits will be issued from my office until the line ends. That could be 10 o'clock tonight. Now, hopefully we can get you taken care of real quickly. Okay, I shared this list with you last month. These are our new chairmen for this year. Actually, I think we have a new volunteer beverage and ice service chairman, so I think all of our chairmanships are full now. So this is our list of new people. So please welcome. They're either brand new, or they've moved around from one location, or they've moved up from a chairmanship into from a co-chairmanship to a chairmanship. So welcome them aboard. And now we're going to move into our division reports. Gary Clark has already spoke, so Susie Eichhoff. I hope everyone has a wonderful, very safe fly-in. Thank you for being with us today, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Good morning. I'm here representing the Volunteer Parade Committee. This year we would like to spotlight the workshops. They are one of the first things that we did back when we started the fly-in. Our mission was to promote aviation education and safety. So the workshops were natural to fit that goal. Today, the workshops are amazing. They have 125 volunteers. They see 6,000, I just can't get this out of my head, 6,000 people take advantage of all those classes. The classes are in woodworking, metal fabrication, metal shaping, welding, electrical wiring, electrical noise troubleshooting, fabric aircraft covering, rib stitching, composite construction, safety wiring, engines and firewall forward installations. There is a lot going on there. Their instructors are FAA licensed or certified, and their volunteer instructors are very, very knowledgeable and experienced. They're amazing. We would like to have every area participate in the parade. It's Sunday morning at 7:30, April 15th. We gather right outside here. The airside ground safety is first, then our grand marshal, and I hope there'll be more than one cart from workshops with 125 volunteers. They need to show up. Impress people how large their area is. They are right behind airside ground safety, and then everybody else lines up behind the grand marshal. We tour through the campground, and we return to the announcer stand, which is right across the way, and that's where the workshops will receive their trophy. Please decorate your area vehicles. Come prepared to make some noise. We like to wake up the campers and let them know what's going on. And it's kind of a last hurrah before we finish up our last day. So please join us.
I know we're all hungry, and I'll keep this quick. In order for me to help you, I'm going to ask a few chairmen to help us help you. Those of you that ordered ropes and stanchions, 6 doesn't answer the question. I need, how many feet of rope do you need, and how many stanchions? The other thing is your earplugs. 3 boxes doesn't cut it. If you come looking for 1,000 earplugs and I'll give you 3 boxes with 50 apiece, it isn't going to cut it. So if you could contact me at tcribfly.snf.com or .org and give me a note or drop it off out there for us, we can take care of it. So I've got everything you need when you come to get it. Thank you.
Push this button. Which one? How many of you feel like we've been here for a long time today? Well, we've been here 25 years, believe it or not, from the Florida Aviation Network, which started here in this little studio with the FAA. So thanks to the FAA, thanks to Sun and Fun, thanks to all of you volunteers. And let me tell you, 175, they're the ones that do the food, right? Isn't that right? 175? Chapter 175. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You feed the masses, and like Pat says, you gotta have food in the bellies to make it work. This is our 25th year. We operate year-round. We started with one goal, to promote aviation and aviation safety. That's still our goal today. Production is just a tool that we use to accomplish this goal. That's the only reason we do that. The guys in front of you in that truck there, the whole purpose is to get the message out. We just got to deal with FAA TV, Fast Team TV, which will be nationwide, that there'll be broadcasting, and what we call, my wife says, what do you mean turn the signal? It means it goes from one place to another place and then they repeat it somewhere else. Most of the things we do is turn the signals with other networks. That's the reason we're calling it a network rather than a TV station. Semantics once again. We're your local connection. We're here year-round. We're all the fun and activities are going on, we try to cover. Plus, when we go to Oshkosh, when we go to Reno, when we go to Fiesta, we're carrying the banner for Sun and Fun there too. We work with schools, we work with organizations, anybody who's interested in aviation. We have a monthly newsletter, and we also have a telecom. In fact, this morning at 8:30 we had a telecom. Of course, we had 20-something people at CFAA over there with Keith, and about 5 or 6 from the West Coast and up north and all. You can get involved. You can get part of this if you want to. Now, in addition to our sit there, we're also going to have, hopefully, a camera out at the announcer stand. We'll also have a camera inside the museum, which will be a remote camera there. So as you're walking around, you're allowed to be on television anywhere. So like I tell all my troops, you're always live, you're always on the air. So be careful what you say and what you do, because you're allowed to be on camera no matter where you are. We're on the air right now, in fact. If you go to FAA Productions, Florida Aviation Network. We got where I was, right? That's where I started. Florida Aviation Network says view live broadcast. You'll see a little live thing there right now, and you can see it. We'll also be on Facebook, Twitter, and all those other things. That's all I can say. I promise you a short one.
Okay, guess the flight. You want to go over there? Half price? I don't know. We got 10 t-shirts left over there, do we, Susan? Well, we got a few. You want to get them? They're there. Guess the flight will be open.
Will be open.
Be sure to pick up your posters and stickers in the back. Lunch will be served whenever you're done. So this is your show now. Any questions? Any comments? Uh-oh, I got a hand.
Wait for the mic. If you... Oh, okay.
If you want to participate in the car show that they have every year,
yes, sir.
Who do you contact to find out information?
Bill Williams.
It's online. Bill Williams runs that, and you can go online and put your application in and bring it out Saturday and or Sunday both.
Get with me, I'll show you where it is.
Flipper, right up here.
Air Ops meeting in 10 minutes, upstairs.
What else? Are we good? It's just Saturday, not Sunday this year? Okay. No. Rainy day Sunday. All right, everybody, this is great. A lot of information. I hope you got it. Look forward to seeing your smiling faces here in the next 24 days.
No. All the